Hello everyone, today is October 9th, 2015. We're getting really close now. Treasury sells 3-month bills at 0% yield for the first time ever. I was talking about this 3 years ago and just mentioned it in my last video that we were going to have negative interest rates. You don't get much closer than this. Investors are so desperate to hold on to short-term paper that they paid $100 for a 3-month Treasury bill at today's auction. That's 0% yield for the first time ever. Lower even than the auction right after Lehman's bankruptcy in November 2008. So people are willing to loan the government their money, tying it up for 3 months with no compensation whatsoever. I mean, we're heading into negative interest rates. Janet Yellen said back in 2010 that she'd be willing to move into negative territory if that was needed. I mean, she's already a fan of it. She gets her pom-poms out and, she'll be doing some cheers for us when we hit negative interest rates. So this is what we have. Watch this clip right here. I was talking about this 3 years ago. I said this is the way we were headed. This is all they could do. This is the way we're headed. You're going to be paying the bank to hold your money for you. Get ready for it.
Hello everybody. Thank you for joining me today on the Moneybag 73 channel. Today is July 9th, 2012. Well, it didn't take long for another country to open up their Alice in Wonderland textbook of economics and to jump to negative interest rates. Today we had for the first time the French government issues negative 0.005% bonds, 3-month bonds, issued today 6 billion euros worth. So this is what's happening. This is where I believe we're headed. We're going to see more and more of this around the world. When you have a debt-based monetary system and it's getting to the point where it's speeding up the amount of debt and you just have to keep piling on the debt to keep it from collapsing on itself. So encouraging more people to go into debt, we're moving into negative interest rates. Rather than having to print up so much money, we'll move into negative interest rates. There's still going to be a lot of money printing. There has to be money printing. Everything's going to come down if they don't continue to print money, lower interest rates. I had a subscriber tell me about he saw negative interest rates on car loans, and which makes sense. Here we'll pay you to borrow 15 grand to get this car. So the buyer feels good. Yeah, I'm going into debt and they're going to pay me. Well, I'm sure they raise the price up on the car to make up the difference, but the buyer still feels good about going into debt. So this is what we have. What are pensioners, retirees, fixed income people, what are they to do? If you're paying to hold money in the bank, it's totally ridiculous. You have to have real money. You have to, have gold and silver. You just sit on that real money. Rather than jump all in at one time like I've been recommending all along and like James Turk recommends, just once a month get a little bit of silver. I mean, you want to move into this. It's not going to happen. What I've realized over time is, 5 years ago I was reading about the dollar collapse, 6 years ago. Well, I didn't realize how they could just prolong this by printing up so much money, taking interest rates into the negative territory. I mean, this could just drag on, and it's just a prudent thing to do to have some real money as they're inflating the paper nothings around the world. So what this meant today at the auction was to loan the French government $1,000, you could pay $5, or to loan them $10,000, you could pay $50. So get ready, everybody, to be paying money to have your money in a bank or to loan it to a government to buy some bonds. I mean, savers are being totally punished and borrowers are being rewarded by taking on more debt. So this is the future. Here we are. It's just totally crazy to imagine that we're headed in this direction, but this is where we're headed.